Welcome back to another episode. No Country for Otakus. We've been away for 3 weeks. Got to supply.
Yeah.
Last week was a mix-up. We tried to do it 2 weeks, but then last week was a mix-up because for some strange reason my speakers were off on the computer, so I didn't hear when the thing rang. So I just like laid down on my bed because I usually lay on my bed and chill, and then I hear from Zoom, and then I'll get up and answer. But my speaker was off because it's Bluetooth. So I didn't turn it on. So like it popped up on the screen, but I was like facing another direction or something, and I missed it.
Okay.
And I was like, I thought
you just had a rough night sleeping, so I was like, you know.
Usually I'm good. Usually I'm good after 12. The rough nights kill me in the morning because I fall asleep, and then when I eventually fall asleep, next thing you know, you blink twice and you move your eyes twice, and it's fucking 11 o'clock, and you're about to do the recording. So moving it to 2 is actually fine because it gives me that buffer. Like today, I got up. The reason I didn't ask you when you messaged me is I woke up at 12.
Okay.
So you see what I'm saying?
Oh, we could have switched this ever since then because.
Well, I thought that you was doing family stuff that late. That's why I didn't want to be like, yeah, we can't do nighttime. But
nah, I put them to bed early. And then like I go to bed around 9:30. So my thing was I always knew that you used to go for you shopping at 2. So I was like, all right, if like
well, I only scheduled it at 2 because we had the thing.
See, minutes up. Because I was like, all right, if we do it early in the morning, you still got the rest of your day.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay, well, all's well. We hammering stuff out. We made it to 40 episodes. And today is episode 40. 10 more for the 50. 10 more for the 50, man. And you still going.
Banned us yet.
Fuck, man. I'm still trying to work around like what could be played, even in my gaming stuff.
Yeah.
Like I was searching for
I figured as long as we don't pull a Dave Chappelle and talk shit about transgender people, we good.
Dave Chappelle, bro. The thing about it is, it's not even that he was making transgender jokes and stuff like that. Is that segment of that thing was 30 minutes, bro. It's an hour special.
Well, the story,
like his whole spiel on all that lasted about 20-25 minutes. At that point, I was just like, can we move on? Like, it to me, it just stretched too long. I was just like, yeah, you know, crack a joke for 5 minutes. Refer to it later and done. But I'm not the comedian. You know what I mean? But you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I was just like, all right, this joke's stale. Like I stopped laughing. I was just like, all right, yeah. And I started playing on my phone and shit. That was just me. But you know, people, you know what's going on. People like you either got tantrums going on or you got people defending him. And I'm like, that motherfucker rich, so I ain't defended shit and I ain't throwing no tantrum. I just wish that segment was shorter. I wanted other jokes. That's just me, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, so how you doing, man, before we jump into this thing? How you doing?
Good, man.
Good.
Health is a lot better.
Bro, I could tell. I could tell, bro. You look
really a
little healthier. Like, bro, sometimes some of our shows, if you go back and look at it, bro, you look beat up. Sure, while you were sleeping. So you do have a different glow about you, no homo. This week.
Thank you.
And I'm happy, man. That's good.
Yeah. So that's been good. Beasting out on the non-fiction book. Trying to get all 3 of those done within the year. But 1 is done, but 2 has started. But 3 might be the most challenging because I want to interview. So the idea for book 3 was talking about finding a purpose and just true spirituality and the Japanese philosophy at Ikigai. And I wanted to interview a couple of Black successful people that we know So I was like, yo, that's gonna take a while. Can I really get it done in a year? I was like, nah, you know what? Budget. I'm gonna get it done this year. So I've
So if
been
you finish
balls to the
them,
wall, man.
if you finish them this year, when is the first one going to be released?
I can drop all three at one time.
All three at one time?
Yeah.
Not rolling.
Is like a series kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Well, you know, some people, even though it's a series, they release it 1, 2, 3.
They roll them out.
They roll them.
My thing was,
but you self-publishing, so.
Yeah,
are you self-publishing this time?
Yeah, it's still self-publishing.
Okay.
The nonfiction stuff was just things that I wanted to write from years before when I was doing strength and conditioning.
Oh, okay.
I just never knew what I wanted to focus it on. And the honest truth is, even though I care about it, like my stomach hurts to write these stories. And I'm like, yo, I can't write these stories unless I get these out. Because I know once I start writing stories, they'll never get published.
Oh, you mean the nonfiction stuff?
Right. Yeah, so I was like, all right, we get these out the way and then we could like beast out.
Yeah, I feel you. And
yeah.
Are you going to charge for them? Because the last book was free.
Yeah, I'm going to charge for them. So what I'm going to do is use the first book free permanently and then have that flow into the others.
Okay.
So it'll go from my story to how the challenges in my story help me to find my purpose, to how I turn my purpose into a business, to how you can market that business in order to serve and impact a lot more people to help them have better lives and stuff like that.
Cool. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to continue on, you'll pay for book 2 and 3. That makes sense. All right. Yeah. So this week, guys, we are chatting about Megalobox and Megalobox Nomad, which is the season 2 of the story.
If you don't know who we're talking about Gearless Joe.
That boy Joe, bro. That boy Joe. I thought it was a good anime, but before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's chat.
Let's chat.
All right, so Dwayne, bro, what you think about it, man? What you think about
it? Man, I can't tell you yet. You got to do the summary.
Well, okay, so the first one, Megalobox, came out. I remember when it came out. It was like on the anniversary of the. I don't know if y'all remember that old anime Joe. What was it called?
Joe.
The first one,
Fighting Joe.
Yeah, I think it was Fighting Joe, and then the second one, the second season was called Champion Joe.
Yeah.
So it was on the anniversary of that. They released this story, and pretty much it's about this junk dog. They call him a junk dog. Bro, what a name! They call him a junk dog. You know, he shows up, and I think he already boxes at this point, right?
Yeah.
I should have rewatched the first one. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I just rewatched season. I just watched season 2. I had an extra week and everything. Do the first season for me, man, properly.
All right, cool. So first season is about this guy, no name at all.
Okay.
He's just known as Junkyard Dog, and he basically works for this old man who used to be a boxing trainer to throw fights and make money because they live in the slums. But the honest truth is that the kid doesn't like throwing the fights. He just does it because they got a lot of big gambling debts.
Right.
And one night he was pissed because he expected to win the fight, but the gambling boss was like, nah. Already, I guess you call him a Yakuza. Yakuza was like, nah, you're trying to fight in the 5th round. And every person that he has fought, he could have taken them out in the 1st round. So he was driving one like recklessly, ended up on a private road, and nearly run over this woman. And the woman turns out to be the CEO of the Megaloboxing, right?
Okay.
And he insults her, and the champion steps up.
Yo, that scene was tight.
So yeah. So two of them, like, you could see like the fighting spirit in their eyes, and they're about to fight, and she's like, nah, like, you can't fight trash, like, go away. So he goes back home, and he's disgruntled, mainly because he finally found a fight that would push him to his greatness, but he wasn't able to have it. And now he gotta go back to doing the same stupid crap of trying fights. And lo and behold, to his surprise, the champion turns up and fights him. And the champion was like, yeah, I'll beat you with one hand. And he forces the champion to use the right hand defense. So the champion was like, okay, cool. You want me to take you seriously? And busted my ass. So no, he wants to fight the champion again. The champion was like, look, I fought you in your ring, you lost. You gotta come to me if you want to fight me. And so they create this massive bet with the Yakuza. They either win it all or
dead as fuck.
or dead. At the Megalobox thing. And it's just him going through a massive series of fights in order to get the champion, to fight the champion in his own ring.
That's season 1. So season 1, original run was in 2018, not 16.
18? Oh, I thought it was.
Yeah, it's pretty recent. I thought it was a little older for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, 2018, 13 episodes. Then season 2, which is Nomad. So came out this year, 2021. April to June. Bruh. The quarantines and shit got us all types of fucked up time-wise, bro. 13 episodes as well. So they were relatively short, which is good. Good when you tell solid stories in those 13 episodes. Yeah. And honestly, man, I've been enjoying these 13. I don't know if we're just picking good shit, but we've been nailing it on these 13 episodes, bro. Like 13. Well, what's his name was 16, but it was because of OVAs and shit. But
Real Life.
Yeah, Real Life.
But Real Life was old though. Real Life was older than the stuff that has been recently coming out.
Yeah.
Real Life was like 2012, that era.
Right. No, I'm just saying it was still like those first few that first arc before the OVAs was still solid. It just had you pissed when it ended like that. You're like, motherfucker, like you know, VV shit like that, bro. Evergarden.
Yeah.
You know, so
Evergarden did it twice. No,
once, and then they had the OVAs and the movies.
Yeah.
So we've been smacking these 13 episodes. Once upon a time, I used to hate those. Once upon a time, I used to hate them because they used to be like shit stories. But I guess they found out if they tell a really good story in 13 episodes, they might be able to get a second season. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? Another thing is, like, I was doing some film study. I was watching some short story short film animations and stuff. And I was watching the same overlay animation that you told me to watch. And I was like, yo, you know what? Like, the trend now is seasons. Like, nobody ain't really into the whole 72 episodes, granted, watch it week by week. Like, everybody wanted no, and they want all 11 seasons and part of the story no. And I was like, man, like, this is a really big growing trend. And I was like, geez, I might have to switch how I want to present my animations, because
bro,
majority of these stories I had was movie form. But you know, it is what it is.
Movies are
just a thing.
Movies are cool too, but you get the whole story in one shot. But I think the time of 50 plus anime, outside of the ones that are grandfathered in, like One Piece and shit, and Naruto or Boruto now. I think that time is done. And you think the most you get now is 20 something. Like it hits 20 something, then they're like, all right. we're gonna see if we get greenlit for the next season. At least that's what it seems like now. You don't really see many extremely long animes anymore. Those done. But anyway, back on topic. So, like I said, it came out in 2021. Nomad, and all right. So for Nomad now, I wasn't sure why there was a Nomad because the way season 1 ended, I was like, oh well, he fought old dude. He got his fight, yada yada yada. He's technically a citizen now because he had that ID. He got his ID fixed by the mafia and stuff. The dude's no longer under the mafia, even though he like sacrificed his eye and shit. That was crazy. His trainer. They got the gym from nowhere. They were the kids, so I'm like, oh, this story done. But then season 2 came on. And I'm gonna be real with you, man. Like, I always get scared when there's another story after I think the first story's done. But I thought this story was pretty good, bro. Like, it starts. Really? I thought it was pretty good. Like, it was, even though it was tied to the first one, it wasn't really tied to it. It was almost like an independent thing.
A separate something.
Because a lot of the stuff happened off screen. Like, obviously, they had the gym and stuff. Yeah. But then old dude was sick. Right? But all that stuff, him dying and stuff, and that whole, him, like, going to fight, at this point, he's a little older, him fighting and losing to that protege dude, the dude with the green hair.
Chief?
Not Chief.
Oh, Lou.
And then leaving and stuff like that, then going through all the pain problems, he was popping the pills, which is where we pretty much start him fighting underground Megalobox with gear on. So it was kind of independent from the first story. So the first story's done. That particular story's done. And this is like a read, And I kind of understand because Champion Joe, which is the original Joe boxing thing, he kills a guy boxing, and that breaks him. So that story. You remember that? Yeah. So that story was him healing from that. But this one is with the old trainer dude. He gets sick, stuff. He dies, and he made a promise to him. He didn't show up at the hospital. The kid like, oh yeah, you didn't show up. Blah blah blah. He's like, so he leaves, but then he's blaming himself for it. So he spirals into depression. He's popping the pills and shit. Not bruh. The Oxycontin ain't no joke.
At first, I thought he had
the Oxycontin ain't no joke. Huh?
Parkinson's.
Yeah, well, I was like, man, well, I thought he had brain damage.
Well, yeah, that was it.
Right, because he had all those. Right. So the first half of this show is him getting out of that extreme slump because he meets Chief. Man, there is so Chief of them are like Afro-Latina. So I'm assuming they're from like a Mexico or something like that. They're coming over and they all staying in this abandoned amusement park area. They're living in there. And people was xenophobic as fuck. So they were like picking. Bro, I was just like saying on there, I was like, oh my god, fuck. No. Like one of the kids like threw a Molotov cocktail and shit in there. And then so there's a tournament coming up. The tournament money. So he hooks up with Chief. Chief helps him get clean. And by doing that, he was like, I'll help you train for this Megalobox tournament that's coming up, so you can win money, so you can buy the park area, so you can stay there. So he's fighting, so they're trading. So it's pretty much them doing the fight. This is the first part, and in the final fight, he takes rabbit punch, bro. Chief gets some rabbit punches to the back of the head. And at that point, as soon as he got hit, I was like, that motherfucker dead, bro. Dude, he was laying on the fucking thing. I was like, oh, God, you got to get him to the hospital, bro. That's why rabbit punch in real life. That's just dangerous, yo.
Because what is it? You burst a nerve or you sever the spine or something like that?
Well, what happens is you get swelling at the back. Because obviously it's still a concussion. You can still get a concussion. You get swelling and it'll fuck with the nerves, the connection between the brain and the nerves from the spinal cord.
Yeah.
Or you could burst a artery. But if he had burst an artery, blood probably would start coming out his ear and shit. But he finished. I don't know. I'm not a medical expert, guys. But what killed? Well, it wasn't. It was that one punch. But then he kept fighting, and they kept smacking him in the back of the head. And then he knew he was going to die too. That was what hurt. So yeah, so Chief dies, and then he goes home, and it's him trying to mend stuff with the old team. The kids are a lot older, so everyone's older. They all like a little grown up and stuff. One of them owns like a restaurant. One works for the old mechanic dude that he used to work for in the first season. One became a boxer, but he's trash, and he got immense anger issues. He blaming himself too. The kid that told him to never come back. So it was that, and then obviously he goes back. He has a fight, but I think he only fight once, right?
Twice.
Okay. I know he fights that dude, Mac Time. Yeah. And obviously, was this without an evil organization trying to exploit people for military use? Oh, it's the fucking military.
And this one was a bit different, though.
Yeah,
It like Nomad. To me, Nomad was really focused on the issues that America dealing with in terms of racism, bro. Like
racism, military-industrial complex.
Yup.
Poverty.
Matt Time. Black man being exploited by this white
dog. I was watching. I'm just like, Dwayne messaged me. He's like, Shawn, they went way different with this season. I was like, dog. They did the Southern border, bro. They did the Southern border with xenophobia, right? Then they did black man. They exploiting the black man on medical for money. And then they did the military-industrial complex tied in with big companies. And I'm just sitting there like, wow.
And boy, it
was good though. It was well put together. And they did depression. Depression, addicted to narcotic, opium type stuff, like Oxycontin and stuff.
Which is what America was dealing with.
Oh no, we dealing with that shit hardcore right now. Shit, a year? Let's just say COVID has overshadowed a lot of stuff that oh man.
Don't worry. We queued for gas and no one knew.
But yeah, so that's pretty much the long or short. I know it was a little jumping all over the place there, season 2 Nomad, which I think was excellent. Separate story, but still tied into the first season, but it wasn't heavily tied in. And they hit a lot of heavy points in this one. All right, so we're gonna break this down a little bit. Story for season 1. What do you think about the story for season 1, bro?
It was good. I really, really enjoyed it. I want to say it was like exceptionally good, but it was good. It was really good.
It was solid.
Yeah, it was a really nice story. And I think the first time I watched it, I gave it a really high rating. And I give it a really high rating because I ain't gonna lie, I was in my feels. It had been what? You said it come out in 2018?
Yeah.
The last good boxing or sports anime we had was Ippo, bro. And that was 2012. So it was good to see something with a story. It was good to see animation with a black lead character, and you know, the artwork was clean. You had that Afro Samurai Cowboy Bebop vibe. It was just really, really good, man. And the story was good. It was really enjoyable. And yeah, that was it. So all around, it was good for me.
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't exceptional. It did pay homage to the first Joe anime, and like you said, man, for boxing, boxing anime is few in between. Really good ones. Ippo, if you just look at the animations, Ippo was probably the last one for boxing. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. Like you said, not exceptional story. I did enjoy the. We're gonna talk about the artwork a little later. The artwork and stuff, but the storytelling was good. It was smooth. You never sit back and say that don't make sense. And it was also like one of the best It was a really good underdog story, you know, because he wasn't using any gear, and the reason he wasn't using gear was they needed to fight people. They needed to get fights for Megalobox, so people were underestimated him when he came in as a guy with no gear, right? Because they all had like exoskeleton stuff. So that's where he got the name Gearless Joe from. Because he just picked Joe to put on his little passport stuff. And then, like you said, a person of color, that guy is a lead. You know, the bottom to the top story, and then obviously the side story with the organization and stuff. Then the final fight, what the main, like he was I wouldn't say a villain, but his adversary or his rival, antagonist. His rival removing the thing. To fight. Yeah, his exoskeleton. Yeah, to fight.
He would have won.
Oh yeah, he would have. Yeah, if he had kept that on, he would have killed Joe, bro.
No. I don't mean kept that on. If he was at his peak,
if he didn't hurt, because that thing fucked him up, right?
Because he said like drained his stamina, and all his nervous system was in pain.
Oh yeah, he was popping pills, man.
He was getting from Joe was burning him out.
You know what that's like? That's like Samurai X when they fought old boy at the end.
Shishio.
It was more of a war of attrition. It was more of a war of attrition. Like you outlast that dude because he couldn't sweat. Like he overheated and died. Like you didn't win. You survived. There's a difference. So yeah, the only thing I didn't like is that for the story. In this one, I did not like the pause frame and then skip to after the fight. And that's how you find out how Joe won. I would have liked to see the fight in its entirety. That's just me. I don't know if you got thoughts on that.
I see what you're saying. I also see what the writer was getting at as well. Because I agree. For me, I would have loved to see the end of the fight. Even if Joe had lost, you would have loved to see the end of the fight. Or you would have actually liked to see the fact that Yūri threw in the towel. Because they said it over the ring announcement. Yūri, he's not coming back in, blah, blah, blah. And that boy was paralyzed.
Oh, yeah. He lost. Yeah, he was in the wheelchair after.
Yeah,
I guess now that you say with the towel and stuff, I don't hate it. It's not like I was like, oh my god, why?
Yeah, I get what you mean, but I was just getting to that point. I think the reason why you feel how you feel, and the reason why I felt that way as well, is because the boxing was that great.
Yeah,
it was. So for us who did boxing when we were younger, we like the sport, we like to watch the sport, we need a conclusion. Like
especially with all that build up.
Yeah, we need to see the conclusion. But here when they looked at it from a different perspective, that was the perfect conclusion, because the writing was all about finding that person that brings out the best in you.
Yeah.
So it ended with them rushing in to punch each other.
Yeah, with the final punch.
Yeah, because they were both happy.
Yeah.
They had achieved the pinnacle of what their entire desire had brought them to.
Yeah. So because the boxing was like almost like a side story to them finding their perfect opponent. Yeah.
So to finish that scene would have taken away from the overall theme of the story.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
That still don't mean I got 100% like it. All right, so that's a little discussion on this season 1 story. All right, moving on to season 2 story. What'd you think about that one?
It took a while to watch.
Mhm.
Not because the xenophobia or anything like that. It took a while to watch because you come off of season 1 kind of expecting one thing, and it has a completely different tangent, a completely different feel. It's a like even in the artwork, it's a lot more grim.
Yeah.
So then, like I think after watching the first 3 episodes, I was like, nah, I gotta start this over. This ain't that kind of animation. So after I started it over, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
After I started it over, I started to get into the story then, and I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting. Excuse me. My gripe with it, but again, this is my personal gripe. I hate multiple uses of flashbacks. I would have preferred that they started. I would have preferred that they started episode 1
Mm-hmm.
with the funeral, and
that,
then
that would have actually
as
been
he
brilliant.
was, yeah, and then as he's writing off, you get him doing the flashback of the memory of how he brought down the ring, not going to see the old man, and then you understand. All right, cool, that is it, and then just carry on the present. Like,
Yeah.
because when you really think about it,
Mm-hmm.
and we say this every week, if we can take it out of the story and still understand what's going on, you've wasted time. And I felt like the flashbacks wasted a lot of time.
They used the flashbacks. They were using the flashbacks heavy to cover the holes of what you don't do, because no one understand, because he was happy at the end of the first one, and then next thing you know, my boy balls deep, beard growing,
exactly,
addicted to opiates, fighting underground.
Yeah.
So they were like, "Yo, we gotta tie these 2 stories together, so people understand what made him fall down into this depression hole." And they were using flashbacks and doing a lot of like flashbacks like that. You know, like the overuse of flashbacks. The same way like this spies time travel. Probably not to that level. I have a personal burning hate for time travel stuff.
Do I hate? Nah.
I thought
like you said, the overuse
well,
of flashbacks.
There's been times that in stories, Steins Gate,
it's been really good.
The one with when he goes back as a kid. We did it. Yes, Erased. But the time travel is so minute in those stories to the overall story that I almost like forget it. But then you get Tokyo Revengers. But anyway.
Bro, we need fans. You can't be destroying this.
Fuck that! Anyway, I know me, bro. I ranted about that last episode, so I'm not going to talk about it this episode. But anyway, I get it. I could see what you're saying. But it was I do understand.
Those flashbacks really killed it for me.
Go ahead.
Because I thought it took too long to get to the point of why he got into despair. Because at a point you figured out what happened right before his last match, and I was like, that kind of ruined the story because he's not in that state of mind anymore.
Yeah, he was pretty much healed. Yeah, he's past it. At that point, the story was more about Mac.
Yeah, the story was more about Mac.
At that point, yeah.
I won't even say so. To me, that last segment was more so, it was still about Joe, but rather than focusing on Joe himself, it was focused on how his pursuit and efforts in the first season impacted so
many people. Yeah.
And then from that impact, with so many people, those people impacted so many other people, because Yūri was getting into the depression as well. But then Lou came in, and Lou was like, "Yo, you saying out here thinking that you put me in this position because Lou gets injured. But you gotta
Yeah,
remember,
Lou.
you didn't come to me.
I pick you, motherfucker. Lou jumped in his ass. Go ahead.
Yeah. So by the time you get that flashback of why Joe went into that state of depression, it was flat. Because now the story has changed to, all right, he's impacted a lot of people, but with his fight, and now people are quote unquote progressing and also healing, because the inspiration that he gave to the people that was directly around him felt like it was taken away when he left.
Right.
So now they're healing, not because of Pop Death. Pop Death was Joe. Their brokenness, quote unquote, was because of Joe leaving.
Yeah.
So I felt like the flashbacks at that time clashed with what was going on.
Yeah. Okay.
That was my only gripe about it, to be honest.
It wasn't much.
Yeah, there wasn't much.
I honestly think if you could come out of a show with just one like major gripe, it's a decent show.
Yeah. Much.
So for me, like you said, once it started, I immediately picked up that this was going to be a different vibe when it comes to like art, everything, just the way. And then like the points they were hitting, especially when they started, like when they introduced Chief's pretty much clan, his group of people.
Yeah.
And then they had the xenophobic gang people around there. Like I was just like, fuck. Okay, this is different. This is way different than that first season. Because the first season, even though they had like the boxing and stuff, it was kind of like lighthearted. You know what I mean? It was more like, Joe's searching for the perfect opponent type of situation. I thought it was pretty well done, hitting like a lot of those themes. I do understand your point about the flashbacks. Yeah, I definitely understand that. Sometimes I think flashbacks also breaks the immersion into the current story. Especially because they did flash. They, not even gonna talk. At least they did all the flashbacks at the front.
One time, yeah.
Yeah, they just did it all in one go. Especially because they did flashbacks so late. But one of the reasons I think they did is because the angry kid, I can't remember the Sachio, his anger lasted almost the whole fucking thing. He didn't give Joe a break till like close to the end when he shows up right by the ringside, and he was fighting Mac. So I like, just like the first season. You may not like it, but I kind of understand why they did it, right? Yeah. So, my only gripe about this is that Joe didn't stay with old girl, man. He didn't bring old girl with her, with him, man.
He couldn't.
I know he couldn't, bro. This is a personal vendetta. She was fine as hell, a little Afro Latina thing, man. But she had a kid. But that had the point. A little cute Afro. Yeah, that was her brother, right? That was a little brother. Yeah, cute Afro Latino, man. She nursed him back to health and shit. I was like, Joe, ask her to come with you. He left, man.
Or take the gym and move it.
You could have, they could have, bro. They were in the middle of nowhere. They could have set up their little community and shit around the gym.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But she could work. She had medical know-how. She could work at a gym, help the boxers out. I'm just saying, it's better than staying at that bar there with them motherfuckers throwing Molotov cocktails and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that's. Let me get off my little soapbox now. That was a personal, like, I wish.
I think we can both rejoice the day that we see the main character walk off with a black girl. And be like, fucking yes.
It was. She was a good.
I don't even know that we've said, yo, that girl was fire.
She was fire, bro. Left her ass right there.
The only person that actually walked off with the girl was Alistair from Castlevania.
Man. Don't get me started on her, bro. I love that girl. You know, I love her, bro. Oh my god, I was like, she go. Alistair need her. Alistair a little softy, man. You need a strong one. And she can fight too. Oh my god. Anyway, so that was that the flashback thing, and I thought the Chief's story, even though it was a short arc, I thought his thing was pretty fucking cool. Because he also went through the depression stuff just like Joe, so he could relate with Joe. He helped Joe out.
Yeah.
You know, and then the whole thing with his son, you know, he used to sit by the grave and carve a little bird and stuff like that. And he uses the gear. He was using the gear that his son made for him and stuff, which also tied into the kid back in Joe's home, because he was good with gear and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. I thought the Chief story, it was heartbreaking, man, because we knew he was going to die, but he kept foreshadowing it to Joe. He was like, I'm afraid to go to sleep. I was like, man, god damn it, dude gonna die in his sleep.
Yeah.
And he was telling Joe, you know, man, hey man, I'm so happy that you were able to help me out, yada yada yada. You know. And Joe was like, you okay, man? He's like, yeah. So Joe went to sleep in the thing, and he went in the truck. And I was like, that's it, man. Never went to the hospital or anything, man. He never woke up. But he did go to sleep. He was at peace, though. It's not like he went down with any regrets.
Because he won the money.
He won the money. Yeah. He went out with his main goal, you know. He reconciled anything that he had with his son and stuff in his mind. Because he was mainly fighting. The reason he was fighting all those like underground stuff was to get money to pay for the park. So he paid for the park. So the people are good now. He put the hat over his head, man. That was the end of Chief. So I thought that was and to do that in less than 6 episodes, like that whole story arc, you know, and help Joe out to get Joe back on it. Joe reconciling his lone wolf demons.
Yeah,
ahead back home. You know, and to wrap it all up at the end of this story, even after Mac time and stuff, which that was pretty cool. Like you said, he inspired so many people because he inspired that dude Matt, because Matt was disabled. Yeah. And through the oh my god, it's like the corporate people had a good idea, but they just don't use it as a good idea for the good of the people. They always have an end goal. So to explain the Mac situation, they what they do exactly? They did an operation on him.
They give him a neuron chip.
Right.
So the chip acts as a aggregator to fire up dead neurons in the brain for paraplegics.
Right.
Oops, sorry.
So what was happening is when he bought, but however, the side effect is that
it ain't just finding dead neurons. It firing
everything. Bro, that shit brought out the caveman, dog. Like, that shit there, dead genetic. Right? So that boy would like, because every time he get to a certain level of stress or activity, it would kick in. And they would call it Mac time, which was pretty much, he would go to sleep and the chip would just take over and just like, when he was boxing, right? But then it started to spill over. Yeah. But then it spilled over to his personal life. Like his daughter would be reading a book, he would snatch the book from her, start ripping it up and shit. Yo, the little girl was so scared of him.
All right, I agree. You remember the bit where he was playing with her in the garden, and his wife tapped the glass 3 times. I was like, you shouldn't even do that with a normal box of meat. I thought he would have punched that because they were playing boxing. I thought he'd again punch that little girl to the moon, be like
he would have,
like, yo,
he would have planted that girl, bro. Like, it's just like, no.
I'm so glad that they switch it up and just wait till he eat all the little girl macaroni.
Yeah, man. He got primal as hell, and then
I couldn't handle that joke. I couldn't handle that, Shawn. I was like, yo, I can't.
But then obviously, what was happening, and this is why we say it tied into like, because Mac was pretty much a person of color too. Where it tied into where we was talking about the medical people and black people is they knew that after a certain threshold he would go into this thing, and they knew it was affecting him, but they weren't telling him. They were like, oh, you're fine, man, we checked everything was normal. And in real life, I guess in the US, where that was syphilis.
Yeah.
Hey, we got the cure, but you know what, man? We don't have a cure yet, bro. So that was another heavy point. Yeah, man. So that shit was rough, bro. I was like, dang. But he wanted to fight Joe. After he Mac timed the shit out of Lou. We're not beat that boy into fucking burn that boy.
That was sad.
Well, Lou was beating his ass. Like, Lou was beating him.
Yeah.
And then he was going to finish him off.
Lou was very, very wary of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everyone was worried about it.
I kind of feel like if Lou had kept jabbing him, he would have win.
Go to sleep.
Yeah, because he wasn't pressured, and from the time that it is not even stress. From the time the norepinephrine kicked in,
realized he was about to get knocked out.
Flight or fight. That boy went off, and he was dodging everything like he was Sendo.
Honestly, the way to beat Mac time is to fight for a decision. Yeah, like you said, just keep jabbing and moving so he never gets to that point that he feels like he's going to die or pass out.
Yeah.
And then the chip wouldn't take over. But Mac time put that boy in a mattress, bro, in the hospital.
Like, you don't even know if he's fighting.
So pretty much that's what they weren't telling him and stuff. So eventually, like, that storyline gets reconciled. He confronts the main guy, say, I'm done with this shit. And then Mac gets to fight his hero, Joe, for the final fight. Yeah. And I'm gonna just leave. I don't want to tell you how that fight ends, but yeah. And then after that, the gym. Nowhere gym was rebuilt and stuff. Story get a nice little bow tie. Let's not make any more. We could stop here. That's my opinion. I think we're done. I just don't know where else you would go with Joe, because he's too old to box now. He like fucking Rocky. Oh shit. Never mind.
Yep. I was waiting for you.
But you get what I'm saying.
I was wondering.
It was almost like the last Rocky.
Are you going to realize that they're doing the same thing that the guy did with Ipo? How Ipo got to a point where he couldn't mentally do it anymore, but he was still young, and he just ended up coaching.
So you take the net. If they do another, it's going to be him as a coach.
Yeah,
I can see that. Coach Joe. He's coached by the champion Joe. Yeah, I can see that. I just don't want him to get in the ring anymore. That day is done. So we're going to wait for Apollo to show up. We're going to wait for Apollo Jr. Like the movies. Creed. Not Apollo.
Creed.
It was Apollo Creed. So Creed Jr. to show up.
Yeah. You know what? I still haven't watched those.
Yeah, I think they're cool films. It's a cool little tie-in. With the son reconciling his feelings for his dad and stuff in the first one and stuff like that. It was cool.
Mm-hmm.
There ain't really much. Okay. It was cool, and then obviously the whole thing with what's his name? Is his also his redemption, Rocky, because he didn't throw in the towel to save Creed from that fucking Russian. And I think the second season is he fights the Russian dude's son.
Yeah.
So it's like Creed, this guy too. You know what I mean? So the revenge match. So I think they did a good job. Also, it was a black director. The black lead. Hey man, we show up at like 30% leads, bro. Like your boy gotta I critique it, but I go enthusiastically every time. You know what I mean? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So sorry, you had to bring like race into that one, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So you should watch him, man. I think you like him. Like, what? You like boxing. The only thing I'll probably annoy you is that Creed's son is like super angry, man. Like, bro, you need to kind of get over that hump a little bit. It takes a little while for him to get past.
I think that's why I didn't watch them.
He gets past it, though.
I realized all of Michael B. Jordan's roles.
You think he getting typecast?
Yeah, he's the angry black man. Think about it. Fantastic Four, Tom Clancy.
We don't talk about Fan Four stick here, bro. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I get your. I'm just saying. I understand. Go ahead. Tom Clancy. Yeah. That was a letdown. That was a letdown. Mm-hmm. I get what you're saying though. Like now that I think about it, and it's sad because he's such a better actor than that.
Manga. Even the one where he was playing a lawyer, I think. Yeah.
Oh, and he was a lawyer for Jamie Foxx. Yeah. But that was based. That was based on a true story. I think the lawyer that did that was actually like that. But I get what you're saying. Which is sad because he's a good actor, man. And I don't want him to fall. I don't want him to fall into that box. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Gotta make sure you break out like Denzel.
Yeah.
Make sure you break out. Like how, Hopefully you'll see some other stuff, but yeah, I kind of see that. All right, so that was pretty much the stories for season 1 and 2. What you think about like the characters and stuff? We're gonna just breeze through the other ones before we get to review. I just realized we're almost an hour.
Characters was really good. I think everybody was fully fleshed out.
Yeah, you didn't feel like
the story that was being told.
Yeah, I don't feel like there was any like waste characters. Even like the really minute side characters, their purpose there was solid. I just wish that Joe had taken old girl under bro. My heart will be forever broken.
As a dad, I will happily disagree in saying that. If she was by herself, but that little man.
Well, he was already old enough. He was in his teens, so at least at that point, it would just be a few years before he like goes to. Well, I don't even know if he'd be able to go to school because he was a citizen. But then he could have asked the mafia, "Hey man, hook your boy up." Let me dream. And I would say music, but I don't remember the score for this show.
The score for season 1 was good, not great. It wasn't like what was last week?
You know what, bro? Let's just hold off on that. The main thing we covered is the story. We're going to talk about music and stuff. And ratings. All right, so now we're in the rating section. Our categories for ratings, as usual, is story, characters, music, and animation. I was trying to do that in the regular section, break it down like that, but then I realized we could just talk about that like that outside the story. We could just talk about the rest of the stuff and give it ratings. So story, we already went deep into the story. What do you think about the stories?
All right.
Overall stories.
So we combining the 2 seasons together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or should we just do that for overall and then just give a rating for each story? Nah. Combine the stories together.
Nah, combine the stories together.
Yeah.
I give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
I think
Solid.
season 1 was really, really good. And if I rate that by itself, it would have been a 4. But then season 2, I found it. One, it threw me off guard
With the change, yeah,
but
the tonal
with the
change.
with the tonal change, the artwork wasn't the same. I'm not sure if that was the studio choice or a director's choice.
I think I read it was the director's choice.
Okay, so it was a director's choice. But the story was good, but the flashbacks killed it. So for that, I gotta drop it though. 3.5.
Okay. I mean, shit. 3.5 ain't bad. That's solid. Yeah. 3.5. I give it 3.5. Saw, like you said, you split the season in half. I give this first season a 4. A little more bright, a little more upbeat. Focus a little more boxing in there.
Yeah.
With Joe and stuff like that. Wrapped up the story and everything. We'll wrap it here soon, Dwayne, so you don't yawn yourself to death.
Sorry,
season 2, like you said, the switch was so drastic with the with the tone and stuff. It kind of took me off guard because obviously you're going off of what you remember from season 1. And you didn't take the girl, man, so I had to drop that down to a 3. So when you combine them motherfuckers together, when you combine them motherfuckers together, we get a 3.5, solid 3.5. All right, so characters.
I'll be honest. I give him a 3.
Solid but not memorable.
Yeah, solid. Like they served their purpose, but
they weren't memorable.
I really only focused on Joe, Chief, the girl,
and Mac
for their own reasons. I didn't even focus on Matt B.
Well, yeah, the only reason you focus on Matt is because we were all waiting for the Mac versus Joe fight. Like it was just like, so I guess it's more about Joe than Mac. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. I did like how they tied in Mac as also being part of that clan because they all came in on the same boat, but they're just separated.
Yeah.
So yeah, they were okay, and they were useful, but they're memorable. Like you really mainly focus on Joe, Yūri, Lou, Mac, and Chief, and the girl. That was it. Like,
okay.
So, yeah.
All right. So you said 3, right?
Yeah.
All right. I give the characters a 4. 3, 4. Same. Like I thought the characters were pretty good. I usually knock it when you like start to dislike a character that you're not supposed to dislike and stuff like that. But they all serve their purpose. The emotions was on point and stuff like that, bro. Like we've done some anime that you're just like, why are you even in this fucking story? Like none of those characters felt that way, and that girl was fine. Obviously for 2D character. Missed opportunity there, Joe. Missed opportunity. I'm not letting this go. So yeah, I'll give it a 4. Mac was cool way to end it. Even the characters of the evil empire. That guy was like, he was quirky and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They even brought the woman,
her brother.
Her brother back in because he wrote the paper on the chip. Yeah. He had a fight in the first season too. That was pretty cool.
It was nice to see that when he let go of all the pain and anger and stuff of the company from season 1, that he settled into his intelligence, and the man was insanely bright.
Oh yeah.
I was like, yo, like Jesus.
He was a
Like, this is what
genius.
happiness
He was a
do to
genius. He just
you.
was hooked. He just got fixated on the company stuff. So he was, but once he let it go, he was he's a professor in season 2, and that dude was like
Billionaire on his
genius
own.
on his own, bro. And one of the people that worked for the organization in season 2 was a student of his, and she had a conflict of interest and stuff. So there was a lot of little stories planted in there with characters that I thought was pretty solid. Even with the little brother, he had his thing going on, trying to fit in with the local idiots and stuff, stuff like that. So yeah. Characters, I give a 4. All right, music.
Season 1 was, they didn't really have a lot of music, to be honest.
Yeah,
it was mostly sound effects and dialogue.
Right.
The music mainly came from the intro and the bits just before the ending.
Yeah.
So the score was good. It wasn't memorable, but it was good. So I'll give that 3 as well. Season 2, I
don't remember.
I remember it. I gotta get a 2.5.
Oh really?
You know what? I'll give it a 3.
Okay.
The reason why I give it a 3 is because they did the same thing that recreators did in playing that Spanish song. But because it was less, it was less, and it was put in the right places. But it was reused constantly. Yeah. Every time Chief was telling a story, they played it. The intro was the song. The outro was the song. And then when Chief died, they played the song. When Joe had found Sachio, they played the song. When the rain was falling, they played the song. When the little girl was telling her perspective of the story of how she felt when Joe left, to play the song. When Matt was talking to the policeman about his time becoming a hero, how he got paralyzed, to play the song. So it was overused, but it wasn't overused to the point like recreators and put in the wrong places. Like it didn't amplify or take away from the story. So I'll give it a 3 because it was a good song. It was just overused.
Okay. I don't really got much to say about it. I'll give it a 3. Animation. Honestly, I don't really got much to say. Like, if I don't fucking try to find that song on like YouTube or something like that, I ain't got much. Middle ground. 3. Animation. So there was a change of animation. I'm gonna go first this time on this one. There was a change of animation between season 1 and season 2 to match the tone of the story. Obviously, the first one, like you said, it kind of looked, it had that Cowboy Bebop thing going, but the first story wasn't as, it didn't start off as depressing or darker as season 2. So they had a change there. Even though it was slow, you could tell the difference. But both to me were pretty solid. I like the animation, so I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5.
Yeah, same reason.
Awesome. All right, so overall, let's get the overalls, man. Combining everything together.
3.5.
3.5. Yeah, 3.5. Yeah. I think it would. They recommend to watch. Good story, good characters, everything. The animation, everything's good. But we've seen some bangers, and when they come into bangers, it's not up there, man. You know, and we hit some 5s a few times. I honestly, bro, Vivi's anime of the year because I always reference Vivi every time. I like, oh, we watch some good ones, Vivi. Like,
Vivi is story of the year. So much so that I think for this year I would have to go Vivi and Inuyashiki. Even though I was a big. Like I was hyped for Inuyashiki. I watched VV. I'm on 32 now, and I only watched Inuyashiki twice. Like,
Yeah, you watched VV 32 times, bro.
Yeah, to the point, right? Every time we go to school, my kids, because I don't play music when they're driving with the family. I try to lay that time. I just talk with the kids and stuff like that. They got to the point, so I was like, "Yeah, kids, we gonna have a good day." They was like, "Dad, we just want to sing BB." I was like, "All right, go ahead." That's what they say when they say the video. Like, no.
That's fucking crazy, man. So yeah, that's fucking crazy. 3.5 guys there. So no fucking super graphic for this one, guys. Just middle of the road stuff here. But it was a good one. We recommend you to watch it. 2 seasons, was that 26 episodes, and I think you'll enjoy it. But coming up against some of the good ones that we put up this year. Nah. So, Dwayne. All right, so that's it. We're gonna jump into a short shooting the shit thing here, and then we'll wrap up. So on to shooting the shit.
Shoot your shit.
All right, Dwayne. So you watch Dune yet, bro?
Dune?
Yeah.
Dune?
Yeah. Oh, the movie? Nah. Okay. It's a sci-fi thing.
Good.
Apart, all right. So I guess it's like there's like Dune books and stuff. There's a whole bunch of books and shit.
Yeah.
I have read.
My cousin's a big fan of them.
I have read a grand total of 0. I don't know a shit about Dune. Gonna be calling it Dune. I don't know nothing. So I went that bit blind. It's pretty good though. It's pretty good when you go in blind. Uh-huh. Like it's like, okay. But apparently the movie only covers the first half of the first book. So
yeah, those books are big.
Yeah. It was written back then when, back then, the Lord of the Rings and shit, bro. That's when their sci-fi books was like this fucking big, bro. that's back then with their big ass books. You know what I mean? So
encyclopedias, bro.
Man, so I thought it was good. I went with my buddy. He had tickets to early screening, so we went and watch it like a week prior.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking him, I was like, well, you read the books. You tell me. I thought it was cool, but I'm assuming, let me hear what you're saying from a book point of view. He was like, yeah, it's pretty solid. Matches the book and everything. And he had a great time. So if the book guy likes it and the non-book guy likes it, I think it's a solid film. Whenever you get a chance, check it out. It's good visuals, though. Good visuals. Okay. But that's where I'm going to leave it because it came out yesterday, so I don't really want to say much about it. But it's good.
Is it on Amazon or something?
HBO Max.
Oh, Jesus. Why, Shawn?
I'm so sorry, man. I can't believe y'all don't get HBO Max over there, though. Like that.
That's it, dog.
The whole fucking TV station, though.
B, you think that's bad? At least, right?
You might be able to get it. I don't think you can get HBO Max.
No.
Because it's still in theaters.
I could live with not giving us anything at all. But when Brexit takes the last 8 episodes of a season, you're messing with me now. Because he said Table 7 Deadly Sins, because he was like, yeah, it was a good ending. I was like, Shawn watched this shit for real? He probably watched season 4. And he was like, yeah, everybody's getting married. I was like, no, they don't. They
you didn't finish it. You didn't finish. Oh, no.
Weird.
No. There's more. When you said that, I was so confused. I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? I didn't even want to argue. I was just like, I know that. No, yeah, man, you missed the whole second half of that show, bro.
Yeah, and I was like, man, this ended weird.
Yeah,
like, they're gearing up for a season. Like,
now that's the final season. Then there's a movie after. But But yeah, bro. Dang, dog. Okay. Ended okay. I mean, ended satisfactory. Like,
Just like them truckers leaving halfway through delivering our fuel.
yeah, it ended satisfactory, man. Talking about seven deadly sins. They tied in like because Arthur now is he's the king of chaos and stuff. You didn't see that, and everyone gets married and they have a kid. And what's his name? And the fairy girl has a kid and stuff. People get married off and stuff like that. So it jumped forward a little bit. His what's his name? The Demon King, the Demon dude.
Melodious.
Yeah, his son is Tristan, and the fairy girl and the old dude. I'm so bad with names, especially when I remembered it. Not really the biggest fan of anime.
King of Dian.
Yeah, thank you.
Lancelot.
No, King of Dian. No, King of Dian. Because King is the fairy. No, I'm talking about the other two. Meliodas' best friend.
Ban. Emma or whatever her name is.
Yeah, the one that still is portrayed as a little girl. That shit's just weird. There was a scene where there was laying.
You realize no, I told
there
you
was a scene they was laying in a bed, dog. Like, and he was laying in the bed and she was there, and I was just like, why do I feel so icky?
so you realize no, they bring it to your attention, right? Somebody brings something else to my attention too. I was watching Beastars with my wife. And somebody messaged me and said, they were like, "Oh, you know, I was watching Beastars." And I was like, "Oh, it's a pretty good anime." And they're like, "I didn't know you was into BDSM." I was like, "What?"
Yeah. I knew that. It's pretty much training a dom.
Watch it, B. And I was like,
it was a training of a dom.
What?
Yeah. How to be dominant without hurting your partner.
Yeah. And I was like,
but it's not, even though it is the underlying theme, it's not beating you over the head with it. So I watch Beastars too. I'm not into that stuff. It was a good story, but that's the main underlying theme. That's why it was like a rabbit to a wolf, dom to a sub. Yeah. When I came to that realization, I was like, bro, how much porn do I watch? Why do I know this? Anyway, my brain is festering. So that was weird. That was weird in Deadly Sins.
Now that I have your attention here, what did you think of the Green Light?
I thought the Green Light was a masterpiece, man.
Really?
It requires a lot of thought. It requires a lot of thought, but I thought it was great. Like, it took me a minute because I watched it. I was like,
Well, I'll be honest.
Go with you.
I haven't finished it. I think
I watch it in theaters. I watch it in theaters. That's why.
I think he just reclaimed the head for the ghost, and that's where it stopped. Because
oh wow, you way early in that fucking film.
Yeah, I didn't get far at all. Like, but that's the thing. It's a 2-hour film, so I haven't finished it yet. But based on what I've seen. There's a lot of wastage in there. Like,
you got to finish it first, bro. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. That's why I was like, I don't
know, man. I thought that movie was a masterpiece, bro. I thought it was a masterpiece, bro.
Because so far the acting is clean, is great. I'm a huge fan of Dev Patel.
Oh, Dev Patel is a beast, bro. And I don't know why that motherfucker don't get. Anyway, that's a different thing. Go ahead.
We know why, but anyhow, you know, and it's tough, but they're like, and this is something that I'm starting to realize that I'm doing a lot because I'm having to study this stuff. I'm actually looking at it from a director's point of view now, because, and then too, along with that, I'm also putting in the bias of how I like to watch movies. So it's getting even more critical, because the scene where he was leaving the castle to start the journey, that was 6 minutes just him riding on a horse and kids running behind him. And I'm like, how does that move the story forward? But then they didn't finish it, so I was like, well, I don't know if that's significant to something way down the line. So let me finish it first. But based on what I've seen, I was like, yo, that's wastage. Like that doesn't help the story right now. Like you could have shown him coming out, kids chasing, boom, straight to meeting the little guy that stole from him.
Yeah, yes. I mean, they could also
Or
portray. They could also portray the beginning of a lengthy journey.
Not really, because from my understanding, that journey itself is lengthy.
Yeah, but it all depends on the director.
That's the other
You can't judge your directing style on someone else's directing style. Everyone has their thing.
Exactly.
I think that's where
I was like, I got
Dwayne,
what you need to do. What you need to do
is watch the movie as a watcher first. Watch all your movies. Watch a movie twice. I know it's gonna suck, but you're gonna have to start watching movies twice.
Yeah.
Watch it first as a regular dude for entertainment value.
Mm-hmm.
Then rewatch as your director.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Because if you're going to every movie thinking I'm gonna critique this as a fucking movie creating animation guy, you're gonna fucking rip a lot of movies to shreds and never finish them, bro. Like, so you need to watch it normal. Yeah. Don't turn it Rotten Tomatoes, bro.
Get paid the rate Disney high.
Why we get me started on that fucking site? So yeah, that's my advice, man. You should give that a try. Just watch it. Watch it how I watch movies. Just get back. Yeah, bro.
Oh yeah.
First watch.
I plan to watch it again.
Then second watch, go through, and then be like, all right, well, if I was a director or if I was a writer, I would have done this, blah, blah, blah. And then you could pick it apart on second watch. But I want you to actually finish the movie first, and then you could go through and then chop it up. You know what I mean? Let's try that strategy.
Yeah, because my thing, I usually I've been very good at doing both at the same time.
But you're getting too good at directing now.
I haven't finished it yet, so
I know. I'm just saying what's happening is your director eye is getting too good.
I know, right?
And it's overpowering your regular eye. If that makes sense to people listening. You know what I mean?
I know what you can do. I can pull a Clark Kent. When they're watching for entertainment, I can psychologically psych out myself and be like, you know what? We are Clark Kent right now. Yes.
That makes sense, man. And then you take them off and you Superman for directing. That's all I'm saying, because I don't want you to overanalyze a movie and then like it takes the enjoyment out of it. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
So the story seems really, really good.
It's based on an epic tale, so.
Okay.
Yeah. And you gonna realize that what was the name? What's the name of the guy? God, he's a piece of shit. I'm gonna just stop. He's a piece of shit, bro. And you gonna realize when you're watching the movie as time goes on, and a lot of stuff that he does, like, oh, so you watch up to the goal, so I could talk up to there. The kid's like, hey, can you when he was riding through the field that had a battle, and the kid's like, hey, he was like, hey, where you going? I was like, oh, hey, I'm going to the chapel. And the kid was like, oh, if you go this way, yada yada yada. And he just rides off. He's like, you have my thanks. And he's like, hey man, give me a compensation. He told
just burned down.
He get that boy 1 coin. And you're just like,
50 cents.
Like, motherfucker. And then because of that, they fucking rob his ass. And then you say you saw when he recovered the skull, right?
Yeah.
So you see when he actually got the skull. I want to make sure, because I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, because the ghost was like, can you help me get my skull?
And then he's like, what?
Oh, what's in it for me?
There. Right there.
Right.
Piece of shit.
Right. So far, what I understand is like, I could be wrong. Like I said, I haven't finished the movie, but from everything that I've seen so far, it seems like the Green Knight, the King, and the mom are kind of grooming him to be a knight. But his personality itself
Trash.
is trash, and it's not knight material.
Right, because
even the bit with the prostitute, she was like, well, I do everything for you. I cook, I clean, I live with you and stuff like that. And you always come to me, so am I not worthy of being
your queen?
More than just. I mean, why you mind shut up? And I was like,
Nah, you just asked, bro. I'm just using you. But yeah, pretty much that's pretty much, because there's also every knight goes through a test of
valor,
nobility or something like that. No, not nobility. Honor, valor, or stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just keep that in mind. And at that point, I will shut the fuck up until you finish watching. I mean, we'll talk about it more once you finish. I thought it was a great film. But I could see. But is A24 known for doing shit like that, like having long fucking scenes? And you're just like, why are they showing these people driving? A24 motherfuckers be doing. You ever watch Witch? VVITCH.
Yeah.
Yeah, like there was those people that live, you know what I mean? Like there was scenes and they was just like, the fuck? Like, so they're known for that stuff. The Lighthouse, stuff like that.
I haven't seen that yet.
Is it black? It's pretty good, man. You should watch it for Halloween. You and your wife can watch it for Halloween. Never mind. I want to watch bro, you Michael Myers still out here killing motherfuckers, bro.
Yeah, boy, that can't help.
Yeah,
I won't watch it.
I can't believe Michael Myers. And poor Jamie Lee Curtis, bro. Like, she old as dirt. She's still running.
Bruh.
She's been running since the 80s. It says
granddaughter and everything.
Michael Myers kills all. So apparently wreck shop in this one. So I'm gonna watch it.
I won't watch it. I like the Michael Myers series. I didn't necessarily like the bits where there was like introducing like demons and hell and stuff like that. It was, but cool.
Apparently those aren't canon anymore. So,
okay.
Because remember, there was a bunch of Michael movies that didn't have Jamie Lee, except for the one that showed it was a prequel. There was like a bunch that didn't have Jamie Lee Curtis and stuff. That the story was like, yeah. So pretty much they erased those and they showed the one where Jamie Lee Curtis is like a little older. She's like, yeah, I got a brother named Michael. Yeah. He's locked up right now, right? Yeah. So you got that. So it goes the prequel, the first one we saw, Jamie is an older woman, and then this one. So like all those middle movies gone. And I thought it was a brilliant move. They reboot. They enough with the demon shit, man. Like we don't. It's and that's actually pretty good, man, because we saw what he did to Jason.
Yep.
Jason goes to hell. Jason in space. Jason X.
Jason X was porn.
Oh yeah, but that was like that was in the it was back then when they used to like just have like rampant death set scenes all over the fucking movie. You're just like, whoa. Glad they curved that shit. That's when all those action movies used to have just like random sex scenes. My mom be like, no. I'd be like, funny stuff. All right, man. I think that's it for this week.
Yep.
What do you want? Do you have any ideas of what we're gonna watch for the next episode?
Crimson Wolf.
We're gonna do a whole episode of Crimson Wolf?
We have to.
Yeah, how many episodes is Crimson?
It's a movie.
It's a movie. All right, Crimson Wolf.
Yeah.
You want to just do Crimson Wolf, or you want to tie it to another movie, or?
Nah, we could just do Crimson Wolf. I think there's enough content in Crimson Wolf.
Because my thing with movies. Cause remember last time we talked about movies, we did 3 movies in one episode. Vampire Hunter D.
But we also shortened a lot of these stuff.
Oh yeah, we cut out a lot of stuff
because we were mostly focused on doing general. So like Vampire Hunter D didn't really get a good
fleshing out
showcase. Yeah, and then the other one. No, actually, we were focused on doing general. We ended up freaking out and talking about Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll.
So like 45 minutes. All right, cool. So J-Roll.
I think that episode was like almost 2 hours. That was a long episode.
Yeah.
Okay. So next week, Crimson Wolf.
Whoa.
Crimson Wolf, guys. Next episode. We might come back a week early. I don't know. We'll see. We'll discuss that during the week. But as always, guys, stay safe out there.
Peace.